Title: Chronicle of the Seers Orb, a story by Ariel Sparks, a novel first draft, copyright Ariel Sparks 2025. Chapter 13, Collaboration, Introduction, and the Seven Arts.
The Grand Elder's gaze shifted to a shelf by a vaulted wall, and she approached it. The mantle was ancient, its wood carved with the craftsmanship of 1,000 years of wisdom. She placed her staff in a holder by its side, and with a flourish, a part of the wall above it slid open with a sigh. There, nestled within the stone, lay a large flat crystal plate, gleaming like the reflections of a moonlit lake. Awaken, Arafa's voice a thrilling declaration. She touched the crystal with her fingertips, and the plate shimmered with a glow that grew from a faint tremor, to a blaze of light that filled the chamber. The air grew thick with anticipation, visions of the unseen coalescing before her. Slowly, 4 figures began to take shape within the crystal's gleaming surface. They grew from mere shadows to figures as clear as the waters of a mountain spring, each one a grand elder in their own chamber, in far across lands. It was as if the very fabric of the world had been sliced open, revealing the hidden tapestry of wisdom woven by the ancients. The first spoke in a sharp voice. Arafa, we've received your report regarding this prodigy seer. Tell us, what is it you wish of us? Arafa, her voice a crescendo of hope, began. Alara holds the promise of a future none of us can foretell. Her gifts are as rare as the passing of a comet's tail. But with great abilities comes even greater responsibility. I seek your wisdom to ensure she is ready for the trials that lie ahead. Hokulani, her straight hair, full lips and saddle brown skin, leaned forward, her eyes akin to an eagle's gaze. Indeed, we have heard of growing unrest, she said with measured reverence. Our world is changing, and we must adapt or be lost to the annals of history. The second Grand Elder Panic, a stoic figure, the glaciers of the Siberian tundra etched upon his face, nodded gravely. Those of the north speak of a shadow growing, he intoned in a deep voice. We must be vigilant, lest we fall prey to its calls of chaos. The third Grand Elder Sumba, a wizened woman, spoke up with a grace that seemed to make time itself pause for her words. The echoes of the cosmos hint at an alignment, a convergence of energies, which could either bring enlightenment or destruction. The fourth and final Grand Elder Araxa, a man whose skin bore the marks of countless desert suns, leaned back in his chair, his gaze a penetrating reflections of the desert's mirage. And what messages do you wish us to bring before the Aquarum, Arafa? He asked, his voice steady. Arafa's gaze was a revelation as she responded. I request your open support. Alara's potential is as vast as the expanse of the cosmos, but she is young and untested. The Aquarum may see her as a wildfire that could consume our sacred order. Her tone akin to a skilled orator. Sumba leaned forward, with a sharpened gaze and suggested. But Arafa, the girl is from lands untouched by the wisdom of the ancients. Her people, the Akari, are known for the tilling of the earth, not the ethereal tunes of our sacred art. Why not first attempt to reveal her gifts to them? Ah, my fellow guardians of ancient wisdom, you are indeed wise to question my intentions. She replied with a knowing smile. But let me remind you of the proverb of our ancestors' wisdom. It is easier to ask forgiveness than to ask permission. Her eyes twinkled with the hair of mischief, a playful glint that seemed to dance across the crystal's surface. Alara's gift is as unpredictable as the winds of a tornado, she continued. We must act swiftly, lest we miss the hands of opportunity that are as fleeting as a shooting star. I am asking for 1 year to prepare the young seer, then the Aquarum shall witness what I have become aware. Araxa snapped his fingers and leaned back in his chair. His gaze unyielding. The Aquarum is not easily swayed by songs of potential, he reminded her firmly. They demand proof, Arafa. They need to see her ethereal skills in action, as well as the merit of her people. Panic nodded solemnly. The people of the north are ever watchful, Arafa. We must be wary of those who do not understand our ways. Hokulani interjected. Yet, we are bound by the bonds of unity. If your belief in this girl is as strong as the ocean's tide, then we must trust your judgment. We will press the hall to grant you a year. Panic spoke up once more, his words measured, as the axis of the earth's rotation. But Arafa, the ways of tradition are not easily ignored. The appointments to the Aquarum are as steadfast as the alignment of the stars. Your name is on the shortlist, and the elders of the north are curious about this girl from the northern lands. Arafa nodded thoughtfully. I am well aware. Panic, she sighed. Yet, the echoes of the ancients also speak of the importance of flexibility. The bamboo that bends in the storm does not break. And I dread I shall not find this flexibility in the hall of the Aquarum. The grand elders, their faces a tableau from various lands, considered her words. It was Hokulani who broke the silence. We stand with you, Arafa, she declared, her voice a melodious tenor that brought the assembled onto the shores of agreement. The words of the ancients speak of a time of great change. Perhaps this girl is the key to our survival. Arafa felt a rush of relief, a warm breeze through the chilly chamber of doubt. She offered a nod of gratitude and spoke. Thank you. Your words of trust and wisdom do not go unheard. Together, we shall guide this girl through the tempests of fate. The grand elders, their images fading back into the crystal, nodded in unison, their features becoming shadows once more. The crystal, once a window to distant lands, grew quiet, its surface as calm as a sleeping forest. The wall slid back into place, the soft conch of wood on wood, a solemn echo of the gravity of their decision. Picking up her staff, Arafa felt the waves of power thrumming through the ancient wood. She took a moment to allow the words of the ancestors to reaffirm her resolve before returning to her chair, her footsteps echoing through the chamber like the promise of a new dawn.
Meanwhile, in Adana's chamber, she spoke in a voice imbued with awe and reverence. Alara, you are the youngest student to grace the haven of the Whispers Infinite, and the first of your northern kin to tread these ancient halls in countless generations. You, my dear, stand at the cusp of a great journey, one that will test the very core of your being. For this there is much for you to know. The sage in training gaze was as intense as the formation of a storm gathering on the horizon. She took a deep breath and continued, her words a soft crescendo of wisdom. Now, the 7 arts, Adana began, her tone richly layered. You need to know these arts of society, each one a thread in the tapestry of our world's wisdom. The guardians are fiercer than a lion's roar. They protect our lands from the shadows that lurk beyond. Alara's eyes darted around the room, her heart racing like the flutter of 1,000 wings. Alara's gaze flitted from seer to scholar, her mind a whirlwind of wonder. So what of the seers? She asked. What is it they offer to the world? Adana's eyes lit up. Yes, my dear. The seers are the eyes and ears of the natural world, she urged. They are the ones who peer into the very fabric of existence, interpreting the energies that flow through it like threads of fate. The room grew quieter as Adana spoke, as if the very walls themselves were eager to listen. The Mediambo are the gentle hands that cradle the body of life, coaxing forth the blossoms of health from the barren bodies of sickness and despair. Now the scholars, stroking their sharp quills and their parchments, are the scribes of wisdom, preserving the words of the past so that future generations may sing them anew. Alara felt a thrill of excitement, her heart beating in time with the anticipation that was dense in the air. And what of the sage? She inquired, her voice eager. Adana leaned in. Yes, the sage, she rejoiced. They are the philosophers. They reveal truths that cut through the cobwebs of doubt and deceit, guiding us through the labyrinth of life with the wisdom of 1,000 lifetimes. And the McCartizan are the poets of the physical realm. Adana breathed. They sculpt metal, wood, and stone into machines that speaks of progress, bridging the gap between the words of the ancestors and the cries of innovation. The young seer's eyes grew wide as she took in the grandeur of Adana's words. And the elders? She asked, her words a gentle inquiry into the most revered. The elders are the guardians of our lands, Adana replied, her eyes wise. They stand tall and steadfast as the trunk of the oldest trees, ensuring that the bonds of unity and wisdom are never forgotten, never silenced, Adana continued. Now Alara, each art has their own order. These are but a few. The Seers Guild is a place where seers of the world converge, an invisible network as intricate as the threads of a spider's web, stretching to the farthest reaches of civilization. Their words are the strands that bound the fabric of society together, a symphony of insights that played out in the grand theater of fate. It is a place where the visions of the past, present, and future intertwine in a dance more intricate than a clock in your town square. They dance to the rhythm of destiny, my dear, Adana replied with a wink that seemed to intone a visage of hidden knowledge. The threads of prophecy and the tapestry of fate are their music, and it is the seer's art to interpret the steps before the dance has even begun. The grand elder's quorum is the stage where the decisions of the world's fate are discussed, debated, and decided. It is a place of evocation that carried the weight of 1,000 storms, where decisions were made, holding the solemnity of reverence at a funeral. Also, for reference, know that sages have a council, Adana said, her voice warm. It is at this council they are gathered, the most esteemed, where the words of the ancients mingle with the call of the new. It is a place where the world's fate is discussed and the threads of destiny are carefully woven. Alara leaned forward, eager to understand the tapestry of her future. But what makes the Whispering Grove so special, Adana? She inquired, her voice as curious as a child's first question. Oh, my dear, the Whispering Grove, Adana said in an enchanting tone. It is a place where the energies of the world are at their most potent. Here we do not merely speak to the wind and hope it carries our words. No, the grove resonates through the very soul of the earth, reaching out to those with the gift to hear. Adana stood up, her movements graceful, as she approached the window. She gestured to the lush foliage outside. The guardians of the grove are not like others you will soon meet, Alara. They are a rare breed, born with the words of the ancients in their very bones. Imagine, if you will, a world where words are more than mere sounds. They are the very essence of existence, the breath of the universe itself. Here in the Whispering Grove, we train those words into guardians, sentinels of the sacred order. Alara leaned in, her curiosity an unbound expanse. But what makes these guardians so special? She asked with eager anticipation. Oh, my dear, Adana regaled, the guardians of the grove are not merely protectors. They are the embodiment of the ancients' will, a living, breathing extension of the ancestors' testimony. Her eyes lit up and danced as she spoke. When the words of the ancients are strong, they speak to us. They guide us in our training. They appear to us in our dreams, and they assist us when we are in need. Only those who can truly hear these callings are chosen to become guardians. Adana paced the room, her movements as precise as a metronome. At the heart of every school, be it the Whispering Grove or the grand halls of the Spire of the Whispering Winds, the guardians stand as the backbone of training, of the guardians across all lands, she said, her voice proud. Yet here, in the whispers of our sacred grove, recognize that we do not discriminate. Adana continued, whether you wield the power of prophecy or till the soils of the earth, each station is but a thread in the tapestry of existence. Her eyes searched Alara's face. In this hallowed place, we do not measure worth by one's commands, but by the character of their hearts. Here, the efforts of the common folk resonate as strongly as the efforts of the elite. Adana paused, her expression as contemplative as a philosopher's musings. Yet the world outside our grove does not always share our views on equality, she said. To them, the influence of power and prestige often drown out truth and unity. You must be mindful of this, Alara, for it is a jungle out there, and not all are as harmonious as those found within this sacred grove. Her gaze grew distant, as if lost in 1,000 conversations. But fear not, for the words of the ancients are with you, and they will guide you through the labyrinth that is the world. Her voice a gentle reassurance. Adana then closed her eyes, as if listening to whispers that only she could hear. Rest now, my dear, she hushed, for tomorrow we set forth on a journey that will echo through the sands of time. You must be ready to face the threads of destiny and claim your place in the tapestry of fate. Alara has completed her trials and begins to grasp the scale of her role. What lie ahead for Alara and her 7 companions? Tune in next week for Chapter 14, the final chapter of Act 1, Voyage to the Haven of the Whispers Infinite.